Hey there, boys and girls. Today we're doing Scorn of the Demon Wall with Tifa. I've had a lot of people over the last few days ask me if her enhancements are good, yada yada yada. Should I do it? I think so. I think she's a fun unit. I mean, do you need Tifa? Absolutely not. Demon Wall is a really good trial to benchmark like new damage units or new enhanced units and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to be doing, and probably we'll come back to doing this from time to time. The missions are use no items, use black magic, beat the Demon Wall within 20 turns. Sinzar's got a really nice Tifa setup how I want to show this fight. This is kind of comp specific. The only alterations I feel like you could make for this particular strategy is maybe Lena in place of Myra. I like the fact that Myra gives some buffs in addition to the immunities for this fight. But Ignacio is here to do his imbue shenanigans. He's geared up with hit points, defense, earth resist, as is most of my units. Just enough to survive. Probably went a little overboard here, but it doesn't really matter. Cecil's going to be our tank for this one. He's also going to be our breaker. That's why I said this is very comp specific. If you're going to take another, if you don't have Cecil and you're going to take another breaker, that changes everything pretty dramatically. Sinzar did another video where he used Warrior Light as the healer and was able to take a breaker. So if you don't have Cecil and you want to try something like this out, go check out his video. Other than that, Cecil is just fully evade, draw attacks build. Ignis is really important for this because we need general mitigation. We need it fairly often. Ignis is really good at on-demand general mitigation with after he does his cooking. Like I said, Myra is really nice for this because she gives us the immunities that we need, and she gives us those buffs and just enough healing to survive. This is my Tifa. Another way you guys can look at building Tifa in the FFBE equip builder, there's allow use of typed items. In order to let Tifa pick up some of these items with killers on them, make sure you check that, let the builder run for you and see what it comes up with, because I wouldn't have thought to put the Darksteel Destroyer on her, but it's actually a better build for me. Other than that, she has a lot of Stone Killer. I did not door her hit points, defense, and spirit, just potted them. I did door her attack, because everybody loves a big attack. Sinzar's built up about the same way. He's got a Lean's STMR because everybody not named Gonzy the Mage has a Lean's STMR. So he's got a little bit more Stone Killer than I do. He's got some good attack. His defensive stats are really, really good as well. So we should be in pretty good shape for this. Let's give it a go. Another thing I would like to note, I am not using gravity to stop the boss or to slow the boss down from approaching me. I did that in a lot of other videos. We're just basically going to be going like, you know, pretty YOLO for a kill right here. So if you're using like less powered Tifas, maybe take that in consideration. You might want to try to fit gravity in somewhere. Up first with Ignacio, we're going to do Critical Stamp, Full Burst Stamp, and Forging Friendships. Basically just to get our LB gauges kicked off. Cecil, on turn 1, we're a little vulnerable, so we're going to do a Defense and Spirit buff, and we're going to break the boss. Ignis is going to start doing his cooking. It's important for Myra to always maintain album cover, so you've got immunity. We're going to do Intro and album cover. Then we're going to use Tifa's cooldowns. Overdrive is really nice after it's been enhanced because it doesn't ever go away, so you never have to redo her cooldowns, or she dies obviously, but I like that, and it can't be dispelled either, which is really appealing for a trial like this. Another thing I want to try to always do is have Ignacio and Cecil go first, so the counters go to them just to help Tifa survive a little bit better. As you can see, like, you know, mine took a lot of damage on that turn. Alrighty, with Ignacio, we need to strike while the iron is hot. We want to dispel, imperil, and we want to imbue. And then Cecil is going to use Saint Breaker for the break and cover. That's pretty much going to be his new role in life. He's not going to do anything else because Myra can take over the buffs from now on. Then we're going to do Final Heaven. Got some pretty good damage there. And then Ignis is going to use his mitigation and resist buff. And then Myra is going to use Interlude and hit single. Just get everybody topped off. See how the counters always go to Ignacio and or Cecil on this? I like that. I think our Tifas could probably take it, but I would rather have it go into a unit with just that's basically here to do some buffing. Let's go Cecil. Alrighty, Ignacio is just going to do Critical Stamp. That way he has his T-cast. Cecil's just going to re-break and recover. That's all he's going to do. And then with Tifa, her rotation basically is use Final Heaven, use 7th Heaven when it's up, and then just use Final Heaven outside of that. Go ahead and send that off. See how much damage we get. Pretty good. We'll push the threshold next turn. I'm just going to get these buffs from Ignis just for some MP regen, basically, because Myra's got us buffed up really well. So we're going to do a main verse. Let's refresh that album cover. We're going to be pushing a threshold next turn, so we're in good shape. And the reason I wanted the T-Cast available is because on turn 4 he's going to buff his defense and spirit, so we want to make sure we address that. Make sure that you always pay attention with your how you send off these actions too, because we're going to be dispelling with Ignacio, and you don't want to break with Cecil first and then dispel the break, or it might kill you. We'll do strike while the iron is hot. We'll do termination stamp, crush stamp, and I want to do critical stamp so I can have T-Cast next turn. Then we'll re-break and cover with Cecil. We'll use Final Heaven. Now we should push the 70% right here. Good deal. Anytime we push a threshold, we want to make sure that we refresh cooking with Ignis so we can get the mitigation on the next turn. And then Myra's going to do outro, and I want to go ahead and do intro as well. That way I can just get into her better songs. Just trying to stay one step ahead. That's the overall mantra to doing Demon Wall. Just stay one step ahead of what it's doing. It's going to buff his attack and magic. As you can see now that we got our buffs in place, you know, damage really is not a big deal. There's the Malediction of Stone. That's the Dispel. Alrighty, Ignacio is going to do Termination, Crush, and then a Fire Imbue. Let's get Cecil to re-break the boss. We still got one turn on 7th Heaven, so we'll chain Final Heaven. I would have rather not pushed that 50% threshold right there because I have to rebuff my mitigation and resist, but that's okay. We'll do an interlude and an album cover. I think it's where Sinzar's so well geared for this one. The reason why we pushed it a little bit faster. I'd rather be at like 51% right there, but it's okay. We took an AoE Dispel. Ignacio can't get his like T-Cast back like that. I don't really see a need in buffing the spirit since Myra's going to take care of that, so we'll just do a re-imbue. And then 7th Heaven is off cooldown. And we'll re-break. I should have reloaded that, but I didn't. Alrighty, let's chain this off. 30% is our next threshold. That's good. I'm actually glad we didn't push it, because that'll give everybody a turn to kind of get back straightened out again. Let's do a main verse and an album cover. The healing off main verse isn't as good, but we should be enough to survive. Yeah, I got Cecil pretty low right there. I like the fact that at least Cecil's counters are capped, you know? You can't just sit there and counter all day like Charlotte. Alrighty, let's go ahead and then Cecil off, and I want to do critical stamp so I have T-Cast next turn. And then with Ignis, we're going to refresh that cooking. And with Tifa, time to do Final Heaven. Go ahead and chain that off. We'll push the 30% right here. Super low. Turn 8 is going to be a defense and spirit buff turn, so We'll do an outro and an intro again, so we get, you know, one step ahead with her songs. We're going to take a Dispel at the end of this turn. Alright, with Ignacio, we'll do Termination, Crush, and then an Imbue. We'll go ahead and let Cecil re-break. We'll chain Tifa again. Should be really close to getting killed right here. At 3%. And we're going to push another Threshold next turn, so keep that in mind. Or we push the Threshold, so we're going to get Dispelled at the end of this turn. With Myra, we'll do Interlude and Album Cover. Should easily get our kill on turn 9. Now, I probably could have helped the Wulong clear out a little bit more. I was trying to use a completely separate team with him, but, you know, he was 10 turns, Tifa is 9 turns. Like I said, I didn't do everything I could have done to help him out, but, you know, 10 turns on him, 9 turns right here. You can be the judge if that's good or not. We need to do Black Magic for mission credit, so we'll go ahead and do that with Ignacio. We'll get 7th Heaven ready. Send this off. That's such a pretty animation too, I really like it. So there you go, Demon Wall 9 turns. Just remember, like I said, if you're going to take more turns than that, death is going to come into play. You might want to consider using Gravity. It's kind of tough to fit whenever we're trying to push as fast as, you know, we did right here. But I feel like this is a pretty good indication of what Tifa's capable of doing. It's really nice. But let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to see any more videos with Tifa. I was thinking about maybe doing some serious boss battles with her, but if there's not enough interest, I won't do it. Hope you guys liked the video. Have a good rest of the week. Toodaloo.